And hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between. Welcome to Hobbs and Mods and our fun campaign called The Rising Storms, a homebrew production brought to you by yours truly, based out of the Astral Sea. Excuse me. Thank you for joining us. Bladders, thank you for that sub. Much love. Uh, Speaking of, I, Matt, aka Hobbs, am joined here today with our usual crew for the epic adventures of Blighters, aka Tyke. We have Viking, aka Matrona, and an extra little one in the background. We have Dom, aka Mist, and last but not least, Wicked, aka Barebeck the Barbarian. I just noticed that I have not updated y'all's character levels on your scrolls, but our characters are now level 4 rather than the previous level 3s. Last time getting to where they did, they have accumulated enough experience and all that good stuff. So, a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit wiser. We'll find out in today's episode. So, thank you for joining us for our 5th episode. We're now into 2 months of doing this. And with that said, almost. We're starting our 2nd month. Give us 3 more games, and then it'll be 2 months. But that happens quick. But with that said, we will go ahead and get into our recap of what happened last time in the Port of Storms. Last time, our adventurers made their way back to the Holdout, a location that is used by the Scarlet Crusaders to command their forces as well as have a place of respite for them. The time before, our adventurer, our lovable motherly giant, was taken out by a pair of gargoyles, but they managed to find a woman there, a Knight Commander, Jeanette Dupree, who happened to have a means of resurrection, but she said it would come at a cost for them. There were apparently a group of rebels and bandits that have been spreading the Crusaders' forces thin by causing destruction and looting throughout the Lost District. And they are the ones kind of trying to put out the fires as they go. So, with this in mind, she told them that if they can take care of these rebels, she will revive their friend. And in that resurrection process, Matrona, floating up from her body, managed to feel a tug in the opposite direction. Seeing out above the rooftops of the Port of Storms as her body floated upward, what seemed to be multiple streams of souls of those who have losing their lives during this tumultuous time, all heading towards the base of Elysium, where this dark, almost necrotic storm cloud seemed to be manifesting above the island itself. But before she could see more, she was pulled back and thrust into her body. And the group then, many tired and worn out, took a moment to rest before heading towards not these rebels, but this large tower, which Mist found in a document something referring to it, something about seeking a source. So, they want a little more information. And so now they begin their journey towards the tower, skirting through a little bit of the remains of the location that they had been through before, finding a few buildings filled with undead survivors, and one apparently filled with mustard gas that was just terrible. So, with that, after clearing out the space,
Don't
finding
forget the trap.
its destructive basement, they got a little bit of loot, a little bit of information, and are now sort of outside of that building, resting after the long, tiring, painful incident. And what would y'all like to do?
To the tower?
Seems like that's probably the best place to go if we do plan on double crossing these guys.
Is it really a double cross?
Well, maybe it's a cross.
I feel like they can't be trusted.
Single cross?
So we'll see. We're keeping our options open.
A half cross?
Wait, was the plan to double cross them?
They asked for payment. I didn't say I was doing it. I didn't agree to anything. You said we'll see.
The deal
We saw.
that I struck was to take care of the bandits in exchange for the Matrona's life. But
We didn't say when.
we're not doing that.
Thank you for
Because
that, by the
we
way.
saved one of theirs.
I mean, we'll do it, just not first.
Oh, I don't have a problem with this. This is fine by me.
Wow, okay.
I want to know what the sources they're talking about is.
A plan.
Speaking of sources, hey, what's it like being
Source.
dead?
What are you thinking, Matrona?
Well, I don't know of a source on this island, but there's. Speaking of being dead, it's wonderful. I was weightless. My back didn't hurt. I saw. I felt a pull to Elysium, and I saw a lot of souls being drawn there, but then I was pulled back by what I presume was oh, what was her name? You know, the lady that did the resurrection.
The thing, yeah.
Okay.
So
Wait. You got pulled towards Elysium, not an afterlife?
No. Well, maybe. That
Oh my
remains
God,
to
now
be
Miss
seen.
has a best-
There was still a chance, but
I don't have I always have a death wish, actually.
The only problem
9
with
of
double
them, to be
crossing them
specific.
is one of my old friends, and it's very hard for me to be friends. One of my old friends is like their group. I don't know,
Meaning he'll
that
vouch
might
for
make
us.
an enemy out of him. For me.
Nah, I'd be fine.
Yeah, you'd be okay.
Hear me out.
To be
Hear me
fair, we did save his life.
We did.
That is true.
That could be
Rephrase
payment
that.
enough.
Matrona did save his life.
Very true. So we're even.
Shouldn't
Then.
you? Exactly.
I'm sure any of us would have.
I'm glad we're on the same page. And I just walk away.
Right, so I guess that's what we're doing. We're doing
yes,
this for
to
our
the
own
tower.
selfish reasons then. Sounds like a plan.
All right. So y'all begin to make your way towards, the large, decrepit tower that you see in the distance, in between the occasional building as you go. Who is leading the way with this?
I'm gonna do what I always do and just be on top of a building somewhere.
All right. Since you are the one who is going to be, having the eagle eye, so to say, or cat's eye, go ahead and roll me a perception.
Mist is on
Where's
Overwatch.
real?
Yep. And who is leading on the ground?
I'll lead on the ground.
Okay. I'll have you.
Type back.
Okay. Then I'll have you roll me a survival with advantage as Mist is kind of keeping an eye above to help guide you.
14.
Survival with advantage?
Alright. Yes, ma'am. Nice. Alright. So, y'all feel pretty strong. You're starting to pick up a rhythm as you travel through. And, Mist, you remain up top, and you can see as y'all travel, the occasional blit of movement. You're not sure what the source is of, whether it's people, abominations, something else that's in the streets. But for the most part, you kind of steer clear of where these movements are, and occasionally you'll see kind of creeping out of like a broken window or something like this, these mushroom cap stalks that are just kind of growing out, and you're like, no, we should probably avoid that too. So you manage to guide yourselves away from a lot of the main dangers that kind of intersect your path as you go. And as y'all travel, you can see that the, litter and shenanigans, debris that is been all across this district that you've seen so far becomes a little bit less scattered, and you can start to see the effects of like, a few drops of article of clothing or like a toy or a bag or something that's kind of been left behind that has clothes or a small few paintings in it. You're starting to see where a bit of an exodus had happened versus the looting that you had seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And as y'all travel, you Mist, being up high, see up ahead, probably about 100 feet or so, kind of making their way through buildings, a pair of figures that are kind of walking in y'all's direction, not seeing y'all or intent on walking to y'all, but they are on an intersecting path. You can't see too much of them, except because they have these dark, almost like deep red cloaks on that cover most of their body, but they seem to both be human or like humanoid.
I'm going to pass that along via Nyx, who I assume is still in my fur.
Is Nyx Blighters?
Yes.
all right. Uh, very much so, kind of hidden in there, and not currently invisible, but it's still kind of hard to feel her because she's so small. But you did see her towards the end of the break that y'all had yesterday, kind of flit in.
Just holding her by the wings at this point. You just gotta make yourself known. Look, people.
But, okay. And then, Blighters, you get a message a moment later. This dang cat touched me wings! I'm debating this spot. Oh, there's also people.
If he touches you again, tell me,
Okay.
and we'll turn him into a frog.
I like this idea. I can also ride a frog. So yeah, she informs you two are on the way. And
Guys,
Mist, sorry.
there's
Oh, go
people. There's people in front of us, somewhere down there.
We
And
should hide.
We
Now,
do
are
want
we?
to
I was about to
hide.
say. Now, are we making our presence known, or? I'm
I'm
trying
going
to be
to
more
hide.
cautious. I don't want anyone to die.
Well, if we keep going the way
Nah.
we're going to walk into them. So we could hide and let them pass. Or we could see what they're here for,
Now,
or we could ambush them.
how many people
I'm
are
going to
there?
hide.
go ahead and roll me a stealth. Mist.
Two? There's two people.
Yes, Nyx only says 2.
Do they seem like they're? I think we should ambush them.
Next week's gonna suck.
I think we should ambush.
If y'all want to.
Hiding it is.
Oh, what was that? Like.
Oh, I said hiding it is.
Alright, then I would like y'all to roll me a stealth as well.
I'm gonna say out loud, don't attack them. People talk freely when they think they're alone.
That's a good point.
Alright.
Well,
So, and with a kind of general clumped up street like this, where/how would y'all be trying to hide as well? Just so I have an idea of your characters, because I know you, Mist, are up on a building over here.
if you've ever seen a
Lost you halfway through that.
I'm gonna hide around the corner of this building.
Alright.
I love how as big as I am, my stealth is great. My strength, not so much. It's so funny.
Alright.
I popped into a building and hide around the corner.
Alright. So you all take up your positions, with Mist just flat on the roof of the building up top, and peeking overhead with Bareback well hidden behind her corner. And as you kind of wait and keep an eye on them. You can see they begin to approach closer, closer. Now, kind of rounding a corner and getting into view of everybody as well. And you can see their dark cloaks and things like that as well. And Mist, you noticed, not Mist, sorry, Matrona, you kind of like around the corner of the door, peeking through, noticed that. Actually, no, Mist, you would notice this as well. That they seem a little haggard, like shoulders slumped. You can now tell that there's bits of what look to be like dirt and soot just kind of rubbed in random places across their cloak. One of them's long hair is pulled back. The other one has this real like shaggy, messed up hair. And Matrona, you notice just that there's a little bit of what looks to be like a dried blood patch on it as well. But as they're approaching, the one with the longer hair pulled back is taking a little bit of stock, looking around as they're talking, and you hear one of them, the shaggier, blonder hair, go, "Man, I don't think we should have left the post, though. I mean, what if something else?" And then he kind of puts out a hand real quick and looks in your direction, Matrona, as they're kind of at this junction right here, and he calls out, "Oi, who hides in there?" Looking in, in the door frame that
I
you're.
wave my hand out.
Uh,
Let's see. They're calling me Matrona.
Step out of the shadows, Matrona. So we
I
can
step
see.
out into the area.
Hmm.
Out into the area and take.
What was the last thing you said?
How far away are they?
Here, let me sit
From
down.
me and my doorway.
They are. I'm gonna use these two. They don't look like this, but I'm using these for their minis. They're about that far.
Word.
I don't see it either.
Y'all seem hurt. Are y'all all right? Were y'all? Did y'all get in a fight with the beasts or the people?
Kind of looks you over for a moment, and you can tell that with their gaze here, they haven't seemed to notice the rest of y'all. And the one who has been with the darker hair pulled back, who's been talking so far, goes, "Before I answer that, you out here alone? Do you belong to those rebels? Or are you a friend of the Crusaders?"
I owe a debt to the Crusaders.
Kind of stares at you for a moment and nods. And as he does and kind of shifts to a little bit more of a relaxed position, you can see he's got that chainmail kind of shirt underneath that has the white with the red lining as well. And he goes, "Oh, good. We ran into some trouble with, I don't know if I would call them beasts, but the spore creatures further in. We have a blockade set up about quarter to half mile from here. Some larger creatures broke through, killed a few of our people.
If overhearing, y'all abandoned your posts?
He kind of gives a side glare to the, recruit next to him, and then looks back at you. If you must know, yes. There was no way to hold it without getting overrun with the fewer numbers that we had. We're currently on our way back to the holdout to requisition some more forces, but I know things have been tight, which is why we were understaffed as we were.
And it's just you two that made it out.
The other
Basically,
two
I
were...
would like to know if
We'd like to know... Oh. Did you freeze on me, Viking? What happened?
I'm waiting on you. I was interacting with the DM. I was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, this push to talk button. Uh,
So what were you saying? You would like to know, because he was saying the other two that we had were taken by surprise by that charging thing.
did you get a look at the thing? Was it huge or large?
Was about maybe 10 feet to 12 feet tall, wide. Looked like the other smaller infested that we've seen that were once human, but different. Almost like it had pieces of a building growing out of it.
That sounds awful. Well, I suppose
kinda
you should be
looks-
on your way. It's mostly safe down that way.
He kind of looks you over for a moment and goes, "And which way are you going, all alone out here?"
Right now, I think I'm going towards the tower.
You see the two kind of exchange a look, then look back at you. If I were you, I would advise against it. It is the most heavily infested region in the area. It is inadvisable by yourself, unless, no offense, but you are more capable than you look. He's gonna kind of look you over for a moment, look to the other, shrug, and just be like, "You know what? You do what you will. And best of luck. But past this point, you are all on your own." And, they then begin to make their way past you. As they go, they kind of look over and see you, Tyke, a little bit off to the side of this building, unless you, completely run around the back of it before they get there. Because I just don't have
I'm
that
gonna
in
sit
the map.
here and I'm gonna play my flute very softly as I hear them approach.
Kind of
Leaning
stop
up against the wall.
for a moment, look over at you, then kind of look back over at Matrona, and you see him kind of he just kind of nods back, and the other slightly more beat up one is like, "And to you, you're going to need him." Looks real quick at Tyke. Good luck and keep your eyes out. And then they continue as he kind of makes a motion, subtly towards Tyke, but continue to keep walking as well.
Glad we didn't try to kill them.
It'd have been easy.
It would have. To the tower.
Where's Big Blue? Where did
Going?
Where did he go?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Oh.
Big Blue disappeared.
For somebody so big,
It
Well,
said
just
the
disappears.
Oh, okay. It says the attempted move. I think because I was trying to go through the wall.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
like that.
I can't see my character. This is
What?
last time. Okay, there you
I
go.
can.
Zoom out all the way. Yeah. It'll go forward,
Okay.
past, unless I zoom out.
Yeah, I think you have to have them actively clicked for it to follow on the camera.
Okay,
So-
yeah. That's what it is.
Alright. So then, with that, y'all continue to make your way, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alright.
And avoid
Onward.
moving buildings.
Alright. So you then push on and continue on pretty much with the same, you know, Mist staying up top, providing overwatch, and Bareback kind of help guide on the ground, looking out for things, avoiding any other altercations or approaches as you continue on. And as you get a little bit further, you noticed Mist first that you begin to approach what looks to be like, as you would probably be a little bit more over here. In the distance, down this road that you see ahead of you, the broken, scattered blockade that is over there looks to be wood and sandbags, along with other pieces of debris that they've brought over here and kind of spread out and built up a palisade with, but something had come through the other side, scattering it, and you can kind of see the remains on the ground around it. And as you all pass by, you, Bareback, kind of on the ground leading, can see that the building next to you has one of those black slashes across the door as well.
Okay.
But you all enter into the area, with everything ahead of you. What would you like to do?
At this point, I'm gonna jump down.
All right.
Nix, I want you to
I
hide,
can't.
just in case.
Will do, boss.
Please stop calling me that.
So cute.
But I mean, you are kind of technically right now, like, boss under me boss. But okay. So she kind of nestles in a little bit more into Miss Hood, and yeah, Bareback, with you also in the lead right now, can you go ahead and make me a perception check?
Oh.
All right. You are quite distracted by the mist plopping down off of the thing, and you have that moment of, I wonder if he'll land on his feet. Oh, yep, nope, he did. I guess cats really do.
Fun fact: whenever I jump off a roof, he does a flip every time.
Show off.
All right. Well, the
Yes, what did your cat eyes see? What? Okay.
Nothing for Mist.
Hockey zoned out. I was envisioning myself doing flips off buildings.
The immersion was too real.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, just like that.
Helpful. What? Do we see?
So, I mean, just kind of looking around what's closest to you, aside from the bit of ruins and everything here, walking a little bit forward, more forward with you, Matrona, you can see that across the door of this building, there's a yellow mark here and a yellow mark here. You can see the ruined blockade further down this way. And with your higher passive perception, you can see also that there's these little bits of scattered blood across the base of the destruction of the blockade, as well as kind of splattered on some small spots of it as well. And yeah.
I turn to Mist. Mist, can you climb this building here in front of us and see if you can find a clear path through?
No audio for you?
No.
I think he had a struggle.
It is Monday after all.
Hey man, every session at least we are consistent,
Well.
alright? I blame Discord.
It's been acting up. At least for me.
Definitely Discord. Yes.
If, Zoom didn't cost money for more than 15 minutes of conference call, I would probably try and use that.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Yeah. Missed! Oh, good a thing.
I think its earbuds just died.
Gotcha.
One downside.
Gotta have that plug and play, man.
I have Bluetooth one, but I prefer.
Yeah, I do too. Unless my cord isn't long enough. Alright, well, real quick, we're gonna switch to a quick break screen while we figure this out, just to get it out of the way. So thank you all for your patience, and we will be right back after we get this sorted. Much love! Bam! Alright, and we are back. Sorry about the delay. Thank you for being patient and chilling with us as we figured out some of those minor technical difficulties. And we will just pick right back up where we left off with Matrona speaking to Mist. Oh, no, I'm
Get
not
up
sure.
on that building right there and see if you can find us.
Said climb, got it.
What?
I heard top of building, and
And
that's
now.
all I heard. He's already gone.
And look for a way through.
Right.
Alright, so then you kind of make your way over to this building, Dom, to get some looks on. So Mist, then keeping an eye out for anything, that looks like a good way through. Roll me a perception as you're there. You'll have to put them next to it, because then it puts you in the building.
Ooh.
Alright. So you get up to the building and get up top, and before you get a chance to really look around and up and down the streets, you instead, as you're kind of climbing up right here and getting to the roof, you get distracted as you hear muffled voices from inside the building that you're on. And as you're there, you kind of hear them pause. Then you hear a very muffled, "Did you hear that?" Yeah. I think, is there anything that gets on the roofs?
I immediately, out of instinct, hears, "Did you hear that?" and hides.
Alright. Roll it me a stealth as, y'all three watching Mist climb up. You just see him go to the top and then immediately just drop down to, full cat laying down, and you just kind of see the very tip of his tail now above. Very immediate reaction as he got to the roof. Alright. Then there's a moment that passes, and were y'all doing anything as you see him drop?
I'm gonna hide.
Alrighty.
Oh, nice.
Not really.
It's those hooves, man.
I'm gonna pretend I'm hiding. I'm hiding.
I don't.
Sorry, what was that,
Now,
Matrona?
do we know?
You know that he heard something. You just saw his reaction of like going up top to look, then immediate like oh shit and stealth.
Gotcha. I'm also gonna hide, like around, just right around the corner.
All right.
Do I have to roll a stealth?
You do. All right.
No better.
And
I'm looking for.
I guess we're all out here.
were you looking for Matrona?
Objects that look like they could be creatures, like
Okay. As you
maybe
kind of
statues that.
take a quick step, look
Might not
around. Getting this moment of like PTSD and paranoia. You kind of take a look up and down and towards the roofs of these other buildings, like, oh shit, it's gonna come from up top. And as you do, you hear and then see the door open to this building, and a figure step out in darker leathers, kind of wearing this wolf hide cape that he's got. That's kind of like the Assassin's Creed half cape length. And he kind of takes a step out, looks, and he sees you standing in the street, bareback up against the wrong side of the wall, and Tyke kind of like looking over the corner, and in this area as well, and he's just kind of like, can I help you?
I'm just gonna wave.
He gives a very
Oh,
confused, like half wave. So you kind of look to the roof, but doesn't see any sign of mist up there, so just kind of looks back at y'all.
Hi, my name is Matrona.
Were you throwing rocks at our roof, Matrona?
Is everyone okay?
I'm fine.
No. Just what?
I thought we heard something on the roof, that's why I came out, and not what I was expecting to see. See him kind
Didn't
of
exactly expect anyone to still be here either.
looks back inside for a moment and closes the door behind him, and then looks at y'all and goes, well, these areas are a little less populated, a little more private. But after what I heard earlier, I don't know if it's worth the risk.
Wait. Crusaders or rebels?
What rebels?
Quote unquote rebels.
Wait, are you talking about the Lost Lords? Because,
Okay.
I don't know any rebels or anything like that, but the only two things that I would call close to gathering or a faction would be the Crusaders and the Lost Lords, but if I were to say one, yeah, we belong to the Lords.
Sorry to bother you about politics. I'm new to the area. Is there any reason that these two groups couldn't work together?
He kind of rests a hand still casually on the hilt of his sword, but you can tell he's kind of a little put off by the question. But he hasn't made a motion to draw it or take an aggressive stance yet. And he then kind of looks around and goes, well, I mean, from what I understand, it's a matter of foresight, future planning. The things that the Crusaders plan don't really lie in the same direction that the Lords do.
Or after everything's okay?
More or less, from my understanding. I also don't get involved too much into the politics of it, but I know from personal experience what I've seen of those Crusaders is a bit of zealotry, a fanaticism that I don't quite hold, so...
So about what happened down there, pointing off to the wreckage, did you see what did it? Where it went?
We did not see it. We arrived shortly after. We saw the retreating aforementioned Crusaders, and I saw something large carrying away the bodies of two that had fallen. But as for what it actually was, or what happened, no, I arrived too late.
Do you know what they are?
The Crusaders or other things?
The creatures?
Some sort of, from what I can tell, infected, diseased, once man creatures. I've seen the corruption up close to a few of my friends in the early days. It begins to rot away your body from the inside, and then once the body has nothing left to give, it begins to take it over, transform it, use what's left.
Ew.
It's even more disgusting to watch firsthand. And
Interesting.
kind of takes a look around and then goes, now, if you excuse me, the standing out in the street is more dangerous by the minute. I would like to get back inside, plan my escape from this area.
Yes, happy, scavenging?
He kind of nods to y'all as well, and, without even saying anything else, just kind of walks in, closes the door behind.
DM?
Yeah?
Would my character have a good idea about how to, handle this infection? Like if there's a cure, or if we really just have to kind of burn the bodies as we go?
You would probably have to see it firsthand to get a better concept of it and things like that, to have more of an awareness of actually how to fight it, because what you've seen mostly afterwards has been, the after results, after it's already taken hold and completed its thing and it became something else, so to say. So but hearing about it in the way he
All right.
described it,
Thank you.
it definitely brought back some unpleasant memories for Matrona.
Ah,
And you know, Mist, you heard all that from where you were on top, so.
I'm just looking around for anything else.
Okay, okay. I will say, you know, uh, with your passive right now and this little bit higher raised platform, you can see that there's an alley sort of behind this building before the wreckage. There seems to be a bit of an open path, and you can also see the blood trail that was mentioned by the as you know the guard, the lord before had kind of mentioned that bodies were dragged off this direction. And as you're over here, you think you can very faintly see a larger shifting form, like about 100 to 120 feet off in this direction.
I'm gonna be like, hey Pixie, I think it's still here, and I think we might die.
You get an
I was gonna sound
immediate
like
response in your ear. Pixie, no! My name is Nyx. Nyx. Nyxx. Nyx.
you're focusing on the wrong part of that sentence. Big hulking monster. We'll get back to that. We might die. It won't matter if I can't talk.
I suppose that's fair. And Blighters, you get a message a moment later. Further up this pathway with the broken stuff, there's apparently a large hulking monster thing. Miss says it's not his fault if we die.
Okay. Hey, so the big thing that like pulled people away, it's further down the pathway. Miss wanted to tell us that. I'm gonna say this to Matrona because she's next to me.
just about to ask if your friend had noticed anything or heard anything. They're back.
Oh, my friend? Sorry, the dressing type. No, no, didn't mention anything. My friend that almost died didn't say anything about this. Do we continue forward?
Do you wanna? Do you want to? It sounds ill-advised.
I'm going down an alley. Bye.
I mean, do we have any other choice? Are there any ways around it? I
we
guess we'd
can
have to
try
find
and
out. Unless, like, you can find out if there's any way around it. Like with,
So, real quick,
Okay.
as you know, you're asking Tyke this about Nyx. You know, Mist had made his way down an alley across one of the in between the buildings that y'all are ahead of, and as you get to the end of the alleyway, you can see ahead of you there is what looks to be like a tavern of sorts that's had its door broken down, uh, and uh, you know, you can see a variety of broken debris on the inside. You can also see that this blockade is still intact, with the variety of debris and other things that have been placed in front of it. And you can also see where it looks like a few people probably a long time ago, had tried to escape or move through here, and you can see the remains of a few bodies that are near it as well.
Hmm.
But that is about all you see over here, Mist, as you kind of pull through looking around.
I just look around like another wasted tavern.
Nix, if he does anything dumb, make sure to fly away.
Oh, for sure. Right now we're just looking at an intact blockade, and apparently there's a wasted tavern.
Alright, so why don't we try and find a way around it? I think at one point or another we're gonna end up having to face whatever this is, honestly. But just to be safe, find a way.
I think that might be wise. Here, where did Miss go?
He's in front of a tavern, but I
Of
mean that
course.
shouldn't surprise you.
No, not at all. Alright, so let's try and find a way around it. I think we're better off right now.
Alright.
Alright.
So you'll start to
Oh,
make your
back
way
Wait.
down along the side. As you do, you can see what looks to be a small inn that is right over here. It has the picture of a feather bed on, kind of old and slightly hanging above the door. And a little bit further ahead next to it, you can see what looks to be the tavern as well as the blockade further down the street. And Miss
Okay.
probably, kind of leaning up in the alleyway, just kind of staring disappointed at the tavern.
Waiting.
Marking on any of these doors? This inn over here, or
It looks to be like a red slash across the N, and the door is broken down over here, so you can't quite see what is on the front of it. But as you approach, you then begin to hear this of what may be something shuffling deeper inside the tavern.
Hmm.
I'm going to guess that whatever killed those guys came out this way and walked forward. Also, because the door is broken outward, so we should probably kill what's in.
You want to fight it?
I mean, it's gonna come for us anyway. You can.
So we're not looking for another way around this thing? Alright.
So as
They're like
you
the big things gone.
let me see if I can fix this.
I'm
'Cause
not sure it's a
apparently,
good idea.
yep.
I don't have those. Just an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
We've discussed this.
So as you kind of peek in, you can see there are a few infected who haven't made it. Oh,
Yeah.
whoops! I had my one pressed down instead of my other button.
Because I started to see things appear, but didn't hear any description, and I was like, okay.
No, it's just mystery everything now. So you peek in and you can see there are a few infested who are kind of shuffling about the area, seemingly like, kicking through things and occasionally reaching for something that's not there, that are, for the moment, unaware of you, but they aren't also as thoroughly infected as some of the ones that you had seen before, where it was, the spore cap growing out of them. You can see these occasional few mushrooms that are starting to pop up along their shoulders or, out of one's eye. But for the most part, from about to their neck down is this putrid black gray, almost like ash looking decay that has taken the main cavity of their chest as they just kind of and kind of move some shit around and shuffle through. Yeah.
This is our way around, though. Unless you
This
want
is
to walk
the only way
towards.
around? Are you
I
sure?
mean, unless you want to walk towards the giant one.
As you say that,
Yeah.
one of them seems to and turn into your direction, catching the little silhouette of your head staring out the door, or it framed in the door as you call back to Barebeck, and they all silently turn to shift at you, and I need some initiatives rolled. So let
No
me
choice now.
highlight some stuff. Bam.
I don't like-
All right.
Oh.
Ooh.
We
Ooh,
did.
wow.
We did well, and
Can I
then
roll
there's
not a
Titan.
9?
And then there's Titan, yeah. Aw.
Save the best for last.
All right. Well, one of
Your
them rolled a
dexterity's so
0.
high.
That's impressive. So,
They don't get to go.
right,
At
that's
all.
it. So then Barebeck starts you off top of the round.
Well, I arrow through
Yeah,
the doorway.
you can move through
Okay.
allies easily enough, unless it's like a like a narrow passageway.
Okay, cool. And up to 30 feet?
Yes, ma'am. Each square is 5.
Alright, so I'm gonna move. Oh, cool. I got the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You good? You good?
Oh. Move in through the doorway, and I can't make any actions. Right?
You still have your action and bonus action.
Okay. Okay, so I have a javelin, but I don't know like how.
So you can throw a javelin.
Yeah.
And so, we'll just get rid of that.
How far?
So yeah,
They
oops.
are, I think, 30 feet, 15. Let me see.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, so if you click on your javelin down at the bottom of its description, next to where it says one action, it'll have the range, which is 30/120 feet. The first number means you can attack normally, but beyond 30 feet, you have disadvantage, and beyond 120 feet, you can't reach them. But they are all within 30 feet of you, so any attack would be a normal attack for you.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna attack this dude that's closest on my right. I guess I'll just throw. I haven't used the javelin yet.
Ooh.
And it would be normal. Oh, it'd be normal, right? Just attack.
Correct. That'll hit. That'll hit. So go ahead and roll me damage.
Image.
Yes. Alright. So you deal a solid strike as you throw out your javelin, and it sticks into the chest and like goes halfway through it, and then just kind of stays there, resting in the creature. But definitely seem to do a bit of good. Anything else for your turn?
No.
All right. Then, Mist comes to you next.
Alright, I'm gonna do one thing that I've never done yet because why not? I'm gonna run in. I'm gonna actually run in. Running in, there it is. And I'm gonna pull out the musket. I have the musket.
All right.
And I'm just aiming at the closest one.
All
Probably
right.
be this one.
So you won't
guy.
add your proficiency to the attack, and since you have not used muskets before, as you're still trying to figure it out, the first attack with it will get disadvantage, just because it's your first
Okay.
time firing the musket. So solid. We will have to edit it because you're not proficient, so it would take off 2 technically, but even then a 17 still hits. So
Lovely.
then roll me some damage, and for 13, nice. Alright, so you release a blast, and it's got a little bit more kickback than you're expecting from the musket. And so it kind of shoots your shoulder back a little bit, but as you look back towards it, you can now see this gaping hole through its ribs where the musket struck. It does take an action to reload the musket as well. You know, it uses a little bit of the gunpowder horn and one of your balls to reload, but
Okay.
easy enough and with a solid strike. Any bonus action
I'll
or
look
other
back.
movement?
Not yet. But I'm gonna look back and be like, did you guys actually see that? Thunder.
I'm gonna look at him very puzzled when he says that.
And then Matrona will come to you.
I turn to Tank and I say, that louder than necessary. We should get inside.
Shaking my head.
And, my apologies. I'm going to cast guidance on Tyke before I leave.
Alright, alright.
I'd need it, buddy. You might need it. And, that'll be my...
Alright. Then, coming after you, is the one that had a hole blown out of it by, good old, goddamn brain farts, Mist. It is going to make its movement, right up here, kind of just immediately shuffling towards the source of sound and pain. And it is going to make an attack against you. Dealing only 2 points of damage, minimum damage, as it just kind of runs forward blindly, and it more hits you on accident than getting that solid hit, and you're just kind of like, hey, whoa! Afterwards, we have one down here, 15, that moves towards Barebeck to make an attack as well. 17 just hits your new AC. For max damage, complete opposite of Mist, as you take 7 points as it just runs forward and strikes into your chest, and you know, you got the moment of kind of looking down at it like, really? But you can feel it through the scales. And then is the one over here with your javelin, you know, sticking out of its shoulder. It runs up as well towards you, Bareback, and apparently also hits as they are rolling well. and it comes in, striking against your side for 6 points of damage, as they all just swinging out their arms, trying to get grasps to pull apart. And then it comes to Tyke.
I'm gonna move into the door, and then I'm going to Eldritch Blast this one next to Mist.
That'll hit. That'll hit. Alright. You send out a strong blast, and as you do, it curves down and kind of strikes into one of the legs, and it tears off the leg in a bit of a portion too, just sending it flying and causing the creature to kind of stumble and waver on its legs, or leg. Definitely looking hella low.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. Then, after you, comes to the one here. It is going to run up as well to the closest figure, which happens to be Bareback, unfortunately. And as it does, it reaches out, trying to get a grasp in with the others. But this one unable to make its blow, as you kind of use the two zombies in front of you to block it and be like, nope, I don't want none. And the one over here, it uses some extra movement to get over the counter as it kind of crawls, flips, falls, stands up, and goes again. And it uses an action to get close to you, Matrona, as it comes up in your face, but, you know, with not enough strength to make a strike, as you kind of hold back its hands. And then Bareback comes back to you, top of the round.
I can't see anybody on here. Can I just refresh it really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Nice. All right.
Okay. So, oh no, nobody's on here.
What?
You guys loaded in. Yeah, I can't see you guys. Hold on.
Like, yeah, we're gonna work, and no, we got you
Okay.
going.
Yeah, for real. Okay, we're good now. Okay, so first off, I have a healing potion.
It's
So-
a
Healing
bonus
potion.
action. I allow for potions to yourself. So if you wanted to use a healing potion, it would be your bonus action to do so for yourself.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm surrounded.
you can click it like you do your weapons and things like that.
Mhm.
It'll pop up, and with the healing and everything as well. So
Healing, usability.
yeah. And now just hit the healing under the thing on the right, and it'll give that roll for you. Alright. So you quickly guzzle the glittering red gold liquid, and you can feel some of the bruising in your chest and arm kind of healing over underneath your scales, as you get 9 health back. And you still have an action.
Cool. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and use my longsword on the same zombie that I used my javelin on.
Okay.
So longsword.
Ten does hit. So you can go ahead and roll me damage. If you're using it with 2 hands, hit versatile instead of damage. So
Okay, yeah, I'm doing it with 2 hands.
all right,
Oh.
that's okay. That's all right. So you strike across it, cutting it, across the chest, doing a little bit of damage, and anything else for you?
I'm actually gonna move out of the way a little bit because I've planned. Oh wait, no, wasn't that leave Rona? I'm good. I'm good right now.
All right.
And I also kind of liquefied a guy last time we were in the fight.
Yeah.
Well, Mist comes to you.
Okay, so first, I'm gonna take a step right here, and then I'm gonna put the gun away because I don't. I'm not reloading it, and I'm just gonna hit it as I.
All right. $18 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me damage. Alright, so with that, you come forward and you just cleanly just bop, hit it in the side of the face, and you hear and see its neck snap and crack, and it kind of looks the other way. As it does, it makes a save. And fails. So, its body kind of wavers there for a moment, and you see one of the hands reach out towards you just as it falls back and dies.
You see a giant finger.
Alright, any other bits for you?
I'm going to use my bonus action. Use my bonus attack to hit the one diagonal from.
Alright. That'll hit. Roll me damage. Nice. So you strike out to this one as you turn, and kind of, since its arms are raised, you just get up under the ribs into the chest, and it kind of takes a step back and looks its sightless eyes towards you. And Matrona, unless anything else for you, Mist?
Let me see. Let me see if that's a bonus action or if it's just a key point. If it's just a key point, I'm gonna do it. How do you hit? Yeah.
Okay, then Matrona, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna start off with turning towards Blue and ask, "Are you angry yet, big man?"
I'm very angry.
Has
I was
to-
actually gonna say if you want to move at least 10 feet away from me pretty soon, that'd be great.
Cast a healing word.
I can't hear you.
I'll cast healing word, and you gain 8 hit points.
Yeah.
I'll move to the backside of this zombie,
Sick.
stepping out of his range, so he gets an attack, I suppose. I don't know if that's how that works.
It was, because you would have to step out for the moment. So it reaches out at you, just kind of sensing the movement, and kind of swiping at your leg or at your hair, pulling a little bit of it as you go. And you still have your action, Matrona.
This jerk in front of me.
Alright. That'll definitely hit. As you pull out your cane and you just whack! Like an old grandma at a crosswalk, you just begin to smack that fool.
That's enough of that, young man.
Alright. So, after you comes to one of the ones in front of you, Bearbeck. It is going to make its attack for a 16, which no longer hits. As you kind of lift up your arm and it just strikes against the slightly hardened, little bit more, pointed and rigid looking than they were before of your scales. To no avail. The next one, the one that you have been whittling down, tries to redeem itself. And actually manages to strike this time. Dealing 6 points of damage as, you block one, but the other one just gets into your abdomen and kind of pulls at your shirt and your stomach. And then Tyke comes to you.
I would move.
All I'm going to. I'm gonna move. And I'm gonna walk past Mist and say, "Isn't this fun?" And then I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on the one that Matrona just attacked.
Alright. 11 will hit. Nice. So you strike out against that one, and it fully takes the brunt of it to the chest and is kind of thrown backwards a little bit, landing on the ground with this crumpled up cavity, even more so destroyed than it was before. Dead and gone.
Then I'm gonna have X attack.
Alright.
I'm gonna have her attack this one. To the left of Bareback.
Alright. She is going to now, with her new little sprite, make her way over there. Soup. Alright. Yeah. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can totally give you permission of the Nyx one, Blighters.
Oh, she's here? Okay.
So you will have that as well. But yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Alright, just gotta make me a con save. DC's 10.
Alright. No dice.
So it's poison now, but he takes 1 point of piercing damage.
Alright. Alright, and anything else for you?
Nope.
Alright. Then as, Nyx makes her strike, the one more that is next to you, Bearbeck, tries its luck to pierce those scales. An unnatural 20. So, dealing 4 points of damage as it just reaches out, tearing a little bit of your clothes and everything, just trying to get at you. Alright, and then coming to the top of the round, it will once again be your turn.
Okay, so now these guys are pissing me off. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Desert Storm Aura.
Alright. You
Do I roll?
enter a rage. How much damage does it do again?
2 fire damage each to anyone within 10 feet. in every direction, but not through total cover. Oh man, so is you.
Mist, it's real
no.
hot in that leather armor for some reason. Alright.
Wearing armor? I think I'm unarmored as well, actually. It's real hot.
Got that fur.
As Mist, unfortunately, take 2 points of damage. But as you all, in Bearbeck's moment of rage, you just see the heat literally begin to emanate off of her like, a hot desert sun or sand. And you still have an action, Bearbeck?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use my claws. New claws that I have.
Alright.
On the one that's same guy I've been attacking.
Okay.
On the right of me.
$16 will hit.
Roll damage.
Yes, ma'am. And add +2 to your damage as well, because you're raging.
Okay, so how do I do that again?
Where it says situational bonus, put just +2. Alright. So a solid 9 as you strike through, tearing up some flesh and even decapitating as you start, across the shoulder and just go across the neck and the jaw, and your claws hook it and completely remove the head of this infested, dropping it to the floor.
Nice and violent.
You are raging. Alright. And any movement for you or staying there?
I'm gonna stay right here.
Alright. Then Mist comes to you. And as it does so, I will say, Mist, you begin to hear a sound outside of this inn. Still a little muffled, a little distant, but you hear this faint
So first his eyes widen, and he says, "Okay, we might want to hurry this up, like now, like right now, like as we speak." And since he's already in the aura, he's and he's going to slash this one. If worked.
Alright. That'll definitely hit. Alright, you get one claw across its side, cutting up a little bit of the arm and the side. Still standing.
I have decisions to make. Do I do it? I don't do it. I just do another bonus attack.
Alright.
That is all.
That'll hit.
Ah.
Nice. As you lay in with your now extended claws, cutting up its side, its chest, getting some good cuts on it. Looks definitely a bit weaker, but not quite yet down, as it's now just kind of like got these bits just shredded hanging off from it, and it turns towards your direction.
Please kill it.
Alright. Then Matrona.
Is this 10-foot area still hot? Or
You can definitely still see the heat kind of emanating in those little, heat waves or in the air around Bearbeck.
whack?
Alright. That'll definitely hit. As you bring down the cane and you thoroughly whack it in the back of its head, and you see it kind of start to crumple, and just for good measure, you give it the old double tap on the ground, and you're just like... And any movement or bonus action for you?
I move 15 feet to this spot right here
Alright.
to flank that zombie.
Sounds good. And as you get into position, Tyke, it comes to you.
Let's be honest, I'm going to do the only thing I can actually do.
Pow! That'll hit. For a max damage. Nice. As one lays out and just strikes
Chuckling
into
at this point.
it. And, you know, it blasts off another good chunk of the body that it's got. And it is now just kind of swaying weakly. Any other movement or bonus action for you?
I'll have Nyx pelt it with another toothpick.
Sounds good. And you should be able to double click her to pop her up her character sheet like you do yours.
Oh, I didn't know that you had a character sheet already ready for her. Excellent.
9 still hits. Alright.
Oh, that is.
Oh yeah, because she only does one with it. With
Yeah, she
actual
only does 1
sprites.
point of damage.
Yeah.
And they have to do a con save.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean he still takes 1 point of damage, but that's it.
She gets one good arrow, like, right into the, you know, slightly hanging eye that is there and everything, and she's like, "Oh, you look and see what I did!" And then...
Yep, you killed him. You got it.
I'm so good. And then it comes to the infested itself, which is going to single-mindedly try and get the target it has been. But with that 12, Bareback, you just kind of grab it by the wrists and you're like, no, just no. And then Bareback, top of the round, comes to you.
I'm just gonna go ahead and my breath weapon.
Keep in mind, it is a 30-foot line that Matrona is directly in.
Oh, okay. That's not gonna
Like, I'm okay if you want to use it. Like, if you still want to use it, that's cool. Just
No,
letting you
I don't
know.
wanna do that. I don't wanna do that. I caused so much damage. All my powers. It hurts everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna use a longsword again.
Alright. One or two-handed?
Two-handed. Oh, I clicked it twice.
Yep.
So I do versatile.
Attack roll first. And you have advantage because you are flanking with Matrona.
Oh, yeah.
That'll definitely hit. So now hit versatile.
Oh.
Alright.
Never
So you swing out and completely, actually, cut down and cut in half this last remaining infested, clearing it out and cutting it down to the ground. And with that, you all momentarily are out of combat as they are all down on the ground. And as they are, you all begin to hear this outside, seemingly in this area. And that is where we're going to take a quick break.
I'm always because I don't care. That's why I'm like Vegeta. Just, everybody got happy.
Pain and damage.
Yeah,
All right. Well, now we're gonna do the official actual break. Let everyone go get their refills of drinks, things of that nature. Get your stretches, and we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So much love, y'all.
Guys are about to die.
Okay. Yeah.
And boom. All right, folks. We are back in the mix. Thanks for hanging out with us during that break. Thanks for chilling with us as always. Much love to all of y'all. And we are going to be picking right up where we left off with our group now standing in the cleared out remains of the infested that were in the tavern, and they hear this approaching from the outside. What do y'all do?
I tell Nix to hide.
I'm going to reload the musket and then throw the rest of the gunpowder out the door.
Alright.
I would very quietly like to approach this wall here.
Yeah, I'm already hiding. So.
Alright.
I'm gonna get ready.
So, as you're standing there, you have this moment as you get ready and prep up, and then there is silence from outside. You have this moment of where, and then Tyke, the corner and wall next to you, suddenly goes as there is this large something on the other side that strikes directly into the wall right where you are at, and you can see the corner that you're in bend against it as the wood begins to splinter and crack up the side. And you get a moment to look up and out, and you can see that on the other side there is this large almost 10 foot or higher figure that is out there that is wide but kind of silhouetted through the cracks. You can't really see much except the occasional slivers of that darkish flesh colored stalk that you have seen on other mushroom infected. But you see, it struck against it, and it seems to be rearing back for a second one. I'll have a split second. What do y'all do?
Yeah.
All right.
Immediately running away from the
It's a good idea.
Hi.
Oh my god! What the heck?
So, real quick then, roll me a stealth mist.
Already doing it. I'm not hiding, never mind.
So, like, you're hiding, but you've got your head peeked over because you really want to see what's there. And as you're...
Musket just on the...
Mm-hmm. And as you're standing there, kind of looking out, the wall bursts out inward, not outward, and the entire pieces of the roof collapse inward and down, and you all see this large creature, seemingly made of that same mushroom stalk, walking on these two legs with these larger front arms, kind of like a gorilla that it just kind of drags and leans on. the multiple spore cap or mushroom caps coming out of its head and its back. And as you all get a look at it, you can also see what looks to be multiple body parts, not full bodies, but body parts of, like, you'll catch the glimpse of a face here and there across its stalk. You'll see an extra, like, portion of forearm and hand kind of sticking out of its back, a little bit of leg kind of sticking out from its own formed elephant-like trunk legs. And so with that said, we're gonna have another round of initiative as it busts in, and then I'll remove all the zombies. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, Nyx went invisible, so she's not going to participate in this combat. Just take
Word.
her out.
Oh,
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
where's that? Oh.
There we go. All right. So then, with that said, Tyke, you're starting us off.
Let's try this new trick. Give me a DC 15 intelligence saving throw, please.
All right. It ain't smart.
Oh, I know. Most things aren't. Alright, so is this other formula, is that the damage? I didn't take a...
I believe so, yes.
So it takes 9 psychic damage, and then it can't take any reactions until the end of its next turn. And then on its turn, because it failed, I get to choose if it takes an action, a bonus action, or a move action. And it can only take one of those.
Alright. Do you choose or does it choose?
I choose. Because I am controlling it.
Alright. Baerbeck then.
Weird.
Oh no, wait, I lied. It chooses, not me.
Okay.
It gets to choose a move, an action, or a bonus action on its turn, but it can only take one.
Alright.
Okay. I should just see, like, I don't want to get too close, but I want to use reckless attack on him. I just don't know, like, how far. Can I use reckless attack on him from a safe distance, like here? Or do I have to be like?
With reckless attack,
Yeah.
it's advantage on pretty much any attack roll that you do with, I think, a strength-based weapon. So
Yeah.
like if you wanted to throw a javelin at it, you can use that recklessly.
Okay.
So
Okay. It just lowers my defense, I think.
it would give him advantage on attack rolls against you because you have advantage on attack rolls against him. So what you want to do?
God. Oh, because I'm gonna die. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with reckless attack. And I'm gonna use my javelin. I still want to keep a safe-ish distance, I guess.
All right. So you get advantage on the attack roll then. 15 does hit.
Oh my god.
For 5 points of damage. All right. And so it has been, I think, a round without combat. So you did lose your rage, by the way. So it was really if you end a turn. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the javelin shoots out and goes into one portion of its arm and everything, and it just kind of very slowly just kind of shifts to what you gather would be looking at it if it really had proper eyes. And was there any other movement or bonus action you would like to do for your turn, Bareback?
Yeah, I want to use now I can safely use my breath weapon. So I'm gonna go ahead and
I believe it is an action for your breath weapon.
It's an active ability.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So on the right, where
Active range.
it says action, so and you use your action to throw the javelin. So.
Okay, so I'm good for now then.
All right. Then after you, Mist, you're down there with your musket already.
So many bad ideas. So many bad
Right.
ideas.
This is so bad.
I mean, this is the time to make bad decisions.
So bad.
Okay. I know what I want to do. How far would you say I can throw his gunpowder?
I mean, probably not pretty far, like at least 30 feet.
Is he 30 feet away from me?
He's less, but I'm just saying, like at least 30 feet, you could throw that gunpowder. So.
Okay, yeah, I want to just throw the entire horn.
Okay.
Like right behind it, and then I want to shoot that.
Okay. So first, I'm gonna have you make me a straight dexterity check to see if you can get it right where you want it, just in a clear spot of line of fire for you.
Time.
All right. So make me an attack roll. You don't have to roll with disadvantage as you're now getting more used to the gun, but you just still don't have proficiency with firearms yet, so.
I'll just subtract 2 from whatever it is.
I already removed the non-proficient, so you can just hit attack roll.
Lovely. Boop.
14. Alright, so I'll say 14 does hit the, horn that you have on the ground. So you fire off, and you all see the musket ball travel, and for a moment you're like, did he miss that big ass thing? And then there's this from a small miniature explosion that happens right kind of behind the creature. About, that far. So, go ahead and roll me 3d6 fire damage. Fist. Alright. So, how does that do that? Whatever. So it, the fire rears up, and silently you see it sort of recoil in pain, and as it lands once more, you can see the gray fleshy stalk of its body, and some of the caps are now singed, burnt, peeling, definitely damaged. So, anything else for your turn, Mist?
I'm gonna spend a key point and use patient defense, just in case.
Alright, sounds good. Then, after that, it is the creature's turn. It is going to blindly move. Whoops. That's what that is, that's why. It is going to blindly sort of move closer towards you, Bareback. This now steaming, raging, massive hunk of mushroom as it moves forward, and then it just stops in front of you, sort of like folding up its shoulders and looking like it's preparing to strike, but unable to. As, by the way, Tyke, was there any sort of a flavor or, visual cue of your mind thrust as well? Or did you just kind of look, point, and it happened?
No, I just chuckled and said, "Let's try this new trick," and then cast my spell and
So
that's all
there's,
it did.
no visual thing to kind of show the... Alright. So it just kind of looks like it squares up in front of you, bareback, like it wants to go. But that's the end of its turn. As Matrona comes to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my cane and press against it real hard, and behind you, Tyke, a hunched over 5'2" Furbolg stretches up to be 7'6" as she pockets her cane and pulls out a crossbow and says, "It'll made to protect your servant," and cast Shield of Faith on
who?
Bareback.
Alright. Bareback, you now have +2 to your AC, giving you a 19 for the moment, for 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Metro.
Alright, that was your bonus action, Matrona. For your action.
With the crossbow.
Alright. So you go to strike, and it fires, but it ends up, you're not used to really wielding the crossbow, so you're a little low, and it kind of bounces off one of Tyke's horns, kind of giving him this like jerk of the head, but not enough to really stab into him, as it goes right off and into the wood next to him.
Sorry.
I guess we're even now.
And then actually, Tyke, it comes to you. So,
I mean, I did hit it with an Eldritch Blast 2 sessions ago. So I'm gonna take another step back and oh, let's do this again. Another intelligence saving throw.
Made it this time.
All right, so you take half damage, but I don't get to do anything with your turn.
All right, you kind of once more just glare at it, and you don't feel the same grip and connection, and it still seems to be just squared up and intent for the moment. Anything else for your turn?
Oh no, that's it.
All right, then Bareback comes to you.
I think now would be a good time for me to use my breath weapon. Not gonna hurt anybody else, so.
For sure. All right, then roll it like you do an attack thing, or click it like you do an attack thing. Should pop up.
Yep. This is usability.
All right, so now it has to make a Dexterity 12 saving throw. Oh, apparently
Saving
I made
throw?
that. No. It does make the saving throw, so it will take half damage. So click the damage, and I'll change that. All right. So, kind of giving a quick look around, you make sure that all of your allies are spread out, and you then crack a grin as you. And this static electric discharge builds up in your mouth and then releases out, and it tries to move at the last second, and a lot of the. Instead of taking the full brunt to the chest, it just gets hit with those like lancing bits of electricity, kind of leaving the lines across its gray flesh. Still took some damage, so. And any bonus action or good there?
I'm good here.
All right. Mist then comes to you.
I'm about to hit it. I jump over the table, hit like right here. Just like start swinging.
Alrighty.
Let's see this. Oh shit! Wrong one. There it is. 1.
That'll hit.
Seven. Then spend key point and do flurry of blows.
Alright. 12 does not.
Okay. I just need 1.
That one will.
Okay, and now he has to a dex saving throw,
Alright.
and if he fails, he gets knocked prone.
Alright. What is the DC?
13.
Alright.
Wait, no, 11, my bad.
He fails. So, you give that first probing strike to hit there. The second one hits a tougher spot, and you're like, nah. So then you bring in your last one right into like the back of what could be a knee, and use that to drive its body down into the ground. It kind of collapsing onto some of the skeleton or the infested that are in here, crushing them under its weight. Roll me damage for your next attack.
All right, I forgot about that.
All right. So you and drive it down. And any other movement for you?
He's prone now, so I'm gonna back up.
All right. So then, after you, it comes to the creature. It is going to use half of its movement to stand back up from where it was, and it is going to continue with its strike towards Barebeck, as you did overall more damage to it in its close range. So,
Oh my god.
with the Shield of Faith, it does not hit you. So, you have that moment where you see the large arm coming down at you, and you bring up your arms defensively, but you don't feel the impact as you hear the and you look up and you just see what almost looks like a shield made of these ethereal wraps that just kind of protect you right above your arms, keeping the arm away from you. And you're good for this round. Matrona comes to you.
How hurt does Bareback look?
A little bit of,
Like pretty darn hurt.
no, not really. You can't see any lacerations or anything, but you imagine underneath some of those scales there's bruising. But she's not bleeding or bleeding heavily or coughing up blood yet. Or he.
Yeah.
Bareback's a he. I like to always include a yet. You never know what might happen, man.
Gonna go ahead and just use the crossbow again.
All right. There you go. Full balance. Oh, solid. Solid. As you aim out and fire off once more, and it strikes deeply into one of the caps on the top, and as it does so, you see its whole body kind of shudder under the impact as well. It's got a lot peeling off it, you know, kind of leaning heavily to one side, but still up. Any bonus?
I'll just move over here and.
Alright.
Nope, not yet.
Then Tyke comes to you.
Okay, so that didn't work. This will work. And then I'll cast Eldritch Blast on it.
I would say that works, yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Nice.
So, go ahead and do me a favor and claim your kill.
Yeah, so I kind of just I move over here and again, and then I summon the same blackish purplish smoke that you usually see, but instead of one hand, it's two hands this time, and I kind of push it out. It slams into the creature as you hear this maniacal laughter.
And to the sounds of laughter, you see this large creature just the entirety of its chest kind of caving upward, inward, and outward, like, you know, the force explosion that it is happening in its chest. An explosion without the fire, if you were to look at it, you know. And it falls backward, hitting into the frame of the already broken door and pushing back and further, kind of collapsing the rest of this wall all right here, and having a bit more debris fall down and kind of scatter across you a little bit, Bareback, as the fight comes to an end.
At this point, you
Oh, yeah,
pulled
right
that
now.
Like, huh. Thought that was gonna be a little harder. Oh, bloody.
Good shot.
Good job. That was really good.
Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're better.
Well, now we have a way through.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If I can salvage my my crossbow bolts.
It's easy enough to do so. You know, they're both a little worn from being struck in. One kind of has a chip in it from hitting a horn. But yeah, they're still usable.
I'm just gonna look around for anything that might be useful at this point.
Alright, alright. Go ahead and just give me an investigation.
Medical supply.
One of these days.
I know.
One of these
Okay.
days.
What is this, Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
So
You never know, man. It could happen.
Yeah, I know.
So you kind of, you know, begin to peruse around the area looking for something, and you don't get very far in your search, as once you kind of hop over the bar, you do see a nice full bottle of clear liquor that had kind of like rolled under the bar and kind of got stuck in the gap of the floorboards, and you're just like, I'm just taking that. That's all I need.
Okay, so I do that, and then I'm gonna walk back over to the giant hulking tree body, stab the pull out the cartographer, and just write a note that says, "You're welcome." The fire starters.
All right, all right. Are you leaving the musket in it too?
Yeah,
All right, all right.
I don't have any gunpowder anymore. Eat it.
So you just like a trophy in a monument. You leave your remains here, and a little note for anyone else. And where would y'all like to go? What direction? What's the plan? Out this way?
Yes.
I think we're going out the hole.
Sure.
All right.
Come on, Nix. Let's go.
Let me move you all.
Oh, where do you
I
okay.
would like to quietly peek around this corner.
All right. You begin to peek around, and as you do so, we'll say you can see that a little bit further along there is a sign hanging from the building over here that says Hunter's Lodge, and you can also see what looks to be more trees and like some sort of mushroom style root system, almost similar looking to is it like those dome trees in Africa that have those extensive root systems on the ground. It's kind of like that, except you can see where their roots are breaking out of the tile and flooring of the actual port and just kind of spreading from the center mushroom trees that are located around here. All of them with that gray-green, almost like slight shade of black skin color and mushroom cap color. So...
How long do we say that we've been awake at this point?
You slept at the holdout, took a rest, did a bit of traveling, so probably between 4 to 5 hours right now. And Mist, as you kind of take a step back to, listen at this door and check over here, because I imagine that's what Mist is doing right now.
Yeah.
You can see a double-sided door that slides rather than opens outward. And as you kind of get over to it, you can hear a sound that you've kind of gotten familiar with over time. It sounds kind of like hooves moving across the ground, just this.
Tyke, I think you have a cousin in here.
Oh, you have jokes now. We're funny, huh?
There's hooves! He hooves me to say this.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I'll bite. I'm gonna open the door.
All right. You open up the door, and as you do, you get a good look in as kind of up in the side, there is a horse that is there, but its flesh is kind of rotting and sagging, and it's got, the pustules and mushrooms growing out its back and kind of in place of its mane. And as you do, its gaping, vacant face just quickly turns in your direction.
How are you?
Cousin? I have a cousin, huh?
There's hooves.
I'm gonna say it is going to start moving towards the door aggressively. Would you want to roll some initiative, guys?
I mean, I guess we're rolling
Let's say,
initiative.
or are you just gonna like slam the door back where it was and be like, nope?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm closing the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna, yeah.
Okay, so you didn't just close the door as a moment later you kind of feel the of it hit the door, kind of charging at it. Not breaking through, but it definitely charged at it. And you then begin to hear the kind of circling the door.
Don't go in there.
We just fought a giant mushroom. I don't feel like fighting.
But did we take any damage? Was anybody hurt? We could have took.
Horse kills the party. You've seen the, Grim Tales, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So, what direction are we going, guys?
Yeah.
I think we should just follow this path.
Building over here called the Hunter's Lodge.
What did you say?
Built for the roots. A building called the Hunting Lodge over here.
Okay.
But watch out for the mushrooms and the roots.
So I know we're against starting fires.
Are
But
we?
cheapest way to get around.
Starting fires?
Yes. Spores
Yes,
can't
and burn it all
survive.
down
See the
and build it back
pyro!
up.
Mr. the pyro.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Are we?
And I don't know
We're
about you.
desperate? Is it desperate
Giant
time?
mushroom trees.
You know,
If we
when
can't
I
take- if we
lived
can't
in
take
the
an undead
forest,
horse.
we would do something called controlled burning.
See? It'll be a controlled flame. Everything will smell like fungus for a little bit.
You know, the forests that I'm from, we just let them grow.
They try to kill you like this?
I was about to say.
Sometimes.
I feel like you shouldn't let them grow.
Depends on where you are.
From what I understand, you were in the Fae. And always have a ample amount of water to put out the fires.
Been
Someone
to a
trying to
lot.
kill the Hunter's Lodge? Oh,
So
dear.
we had to burn what we. Do we want to check it out?
So you just see mist slowly
How
throwing a
carefully
torch.
approaching this freaking building.
Hear me out.
I can't see nothing.
Just look around. Quickly open the door, toss the torch in and close it. And walk away.
Okay.
Oh.
So you just kind of join up with the rest of the group as they begin to approach the Hunting's Lodge.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be fine.
Nothing to do.
Not that.
And as y'all approach and Bareback, you kind of a little bit ahead of the rest of them. You can see that there is actually no mark on the front of the Hunting Lodge's doors. And as you get to where you're standing, Bareback, you look up because you hear this faint, like this creak, almost like wood, and you can see that these mushrooms closest to you just sort of lean slightly towards you. They don't move or anything extensively, but they definitely just kind of lean a little bit.
Not real.
I'm gonna pull out another torch and just walk forward and see if they lean away.
Is his torch lit?
Yes.
I
Definitely.
put it out.
Thank
Right,
you. I think we should go through this lodge here. This is the lodge building. Whatever this is, I think we should.
I'm
try and
gonna
through
go
it.
ahead and is there a keyhole to peek through or?
There is, yeah. Go ahead and roll me a
Is there a
perception.
keyhole to peek through, or?
Yeah, just roll me a perception. Alright. You can't see much in front of it, as it's got a very narrow perspective. But you looking through, you can see that there's this what looks to be unkempt, matted, bare rug that is on the floor. You can't see further in past that as it's unlit on the inside, but you do see what looks to be like branches or vines of a sort that are kind of hanging down and reaching out over with these bits of cloth strapped across them.
I love it. Sorry.
One more time? Kind of cut out for me.
Gonna give a listen, just in case. Put my ear against the door.
Alright. You kind of listen at it for a moment. There doesn't sound like there's really anything in there.
Alright.
I'm gonna pull out that
Alright,
liqueur.
people. Stand back.
That's happening. I'm gonna pull out the liqueur. I'm gonna drink a little bit, look over, and be like, I'm a dragon too. I don't know.
I'm gonna slowly open the door.
roll me a dexterity.
As it happens, I'm gonna be like, you act like they don't just want this. The only reason they haven't yet burned everything down is because they want the tower.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you get your red dragon on, breathing out some flame, and it catches across some of the branches and roots that are closest to you from this mushroom, and you can see little bits of it start to catch fire.
Oh my god, he went through with it?
Definitely.
As you open up this door slowly. And, as you sit there and admire your flames, Matrona, you open up the door, kind of peek in some more, and you can see where, right on the inside, there is one of these mushroom trees growing with these few kind of branching stalks, and you can see what seems to be the bust of a figure about 3/4 of the way up it, with just pale skin, looks to be an elf with the pointed ears, definitely dead, but it looks like his bust goes from the flesh just naturally down into the mushroom rather than looking like he's stuck in it. But aside from that, the Hunter's Lodge looks surprisingly intact and kept up. There's, a little bit of dust here and there and whatnot, but you can definitely see that it has had some maintenance to it. And Mist, as you're sitting there staring at your flames and enjoyment and just kind of being like, yeah, fuck you, mushrooms, you start to hear this little bit of creaking as what looks to be the outside of the mushrooms begin to shift, and it looks like it starts to move parts of its bark to stamp out the little bits of flames that were starting to grow, and it seems to smother them and bury them within itself, kind of twisting the mushroom tree a little bit more and giving it that, like, twisted medieval, fantasy look to the trees that they get. Tim Burton-esque almost, as it just kind of twists in on itself, snuffing out the flames.
And as that happens, I turn around and be like, And we shouldn't burn them. Why?
Smart.
Because they're
Alive.
fascinating.
They
What
keep growing.
check would I need to make to know what it's doing? If I can.
I would say a nature one.
This is all foreign to me. We're gonna do it anyways. Nope.
Yeah, you've definitely seen some mushroom trees, but
I like these ones.
not like these.
I roll a survival check.
You can attempt it.
See how that would work on.
Alright. For a total of 23, the most that you're really gathering is it's some sort of self-preservation mechanic that is in these creatures or these trees. But you're not sure how effective or large scale it could be. But they seem to have some sort of built-in self-preservation to them.
Why is that what I get in that 20 hole? But okay, I'm gonna throw the jar of acid at one of them. These are just experiments now.
All right. As you're experimenting outside, what are Matrona, the rest of y'all? What are you doing?
I want to check out this building
Okay.
because it wasn't marked.
So I would like to, as we step in, I'd like to turn to the mushroom and say, "Good day, Master Elf, Master Mushroom. May we come in?"
As you walk in and bareback, you kind of trail a moment behind and everything. You see the entire tree just kind of slowly shift a little bit in your direction, almost to where it looks like that bust that is on there of the elf is looking at y'all. But it doesn't seem to move or do anything else of that nature. It just seems to shift a little bit towards you and kind of lean slightly in.
Lean back. That doesn't look too safe. As he's pouring acid on something. That doesn't look safe.
Maybe it's because you're not making it safe.
Imagine he sets this whole building on fire while we're in it.
That's not.
Don't do that.
I'm saying that's not the building that we should be worried about being fire.
So I noticed that
Go for it.
I'm just having more mushroom speak.
Oh, okay. So then, y'all two all walk in as Mist, you're outside, pouring your acid down onto some of these roots that are close to you as well. And as you do, it connects with that gray bark flesh and it dissolves into it and, bubbles and burns a bit. And, definitely seems to respond to it as well. But it doesn't look like it's trying to completely snuff it out. It does recoil to it, and parts of it seem to almost try and move out of the way. But you can kind of follow it for a little bit with the remainder of your acid, pouring out the rest. And as you finish the vial and stare at it, you're like, well, that was anticlimactic. I need you to make a dex save. Alright, you have a moment of staring at it, and then you hear this below your feet, and you quickly jump backwards as the ends of these roots begin to come out of the ground as well, looking like they were trying to wrap around your feet. And as they connect with nothing, they just sort of kind of lay there back onto the tile and very slowly look like they begin to slither and try and find cracks in the ground to go back down and under.
I yell into the end, watch your feet!
Alright. And so on the inside, how's Mushroom Speak going? They say anything in particular?
Thinking about the other mushrooms around, asking if they're all one conglomerate or just a family of each other.
As you stand there, oh, I was getting silence for the last half of that. I got up to family of each other. I don't know if you said anything after.
I did say, ask if we would be allowed to rest here unmolested, or if it would appreciate us just moving on.
As you're there and kind of staring at it, looking at the cloth that is kind of stretched between a variety of the branches and, towards the elf there, you notice that the cloth itself looks like it might be torn bits of shirt, jacket, robes, some sort of clothing article that has just kind of been stretched and torn by the mushroom. And as you're there, it doesn't really seem to change its demeanor, as it still seems just to kind of lean towards you, but you do notice that the branches themselves seem to almost be leaning down towards you as well. Just slowly getting closer and closer to you. And Tyke and Bareback, as you're kind of casually looking around this area, you can see that it just looks like it's in that slow movement, almost like an embrace of a tree, as it's just slowly moving its tendrils around him.
I don't know if I'd stand that close, but then again, I don't know anything about these mushrooms.
At this point, I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Hey,
Oh, you're probably right.
they're super alive to the point of invasive,
Noted.
to the point of they will attack you
I
if you
point
get too
at the-
close."
Yeah, as you come in saying that, you can see Matrona looks like she's about to be just hugged by this mushroom as well. You're like,
Pulls out the torch again. All right,
Don't
can
do it.
we burn it? Can we burn it now?
No.
No. I bow to the mushroom and say, thank you for your hospitality. We will be leaving now.
Yeah, as you step away, it's almost like longingly that the arms and branches just kind of follow you, and then slowly we kind of begin to rise up a little bit more, still leaning in y'all's direction, but not as intently now. Were y'all also searching through this lodge, or bareback while this was all going on, or Tyke?
I mean, I was looking, but it wasn't like
Okay.
searching. It was just kind of looking around.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what we can, find here. I want to explore, just because this is the first time we've seen cloths wrapped around. I mean, this is the first time we've seen this at all, so.
Alright, make me then just an investigation.
I'm just gonna look back at the building that I threw the torch at.
Don't worry, I got you. I got you. So kind of, perusing through everywhere, casually looking about. You can see that over on the far wall there are a few other roots and extensions that seem to have broken in from the outside, and it looks like it has a canvas from a painting that it has punctured through and is ripping apart as it slowly kind of spreads and increases its range inside. And looking around the rest of the room, you don't really pick up too much aside from every now and then you'll see these little areas where it's like, oh shit, somebody broomed over here and cleaned all this off to the side. This little area is a little bit more dusted. But looking through, you do notice that there appears to be something that is hooked onto the dragon's horn that is mounted up on the wall. It looks like it almost looks like it should be some sort of decorative ring attached to a horn. As a dragonborn, you've definitely seen things like that, but it doesn't quite fit properly.
But it's a ring?
Or it looks like it might be of that kind. It looks like some sort of metal band that is around it. And as you get closer to look at it more, you can see that it's got these very nice engravings around the band, and then on the underside of the horn where you couldn't see, there is what looks to be a ram's head that is there with the curving horns and everything else, all made of this nice silver metal.
I don't want to grab this bird. I want to grab. This looks like somebody was just here if it's well kept. You said it's engraved. Is it in draconic or?
It doesn't look like it's a writing kind of engraving, more of stylings. The nice curves
gotcha.
and things like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it. So enemy.
All right. So you kind of, after the little debate, you walk back just as Matrona's heading out, and Matrona, as you step out, you look over to the side and you can see Mist, hands on his hips, looking at the stable building that y'all passed, as smoke is beginning to tendril out of the windows and out of these small cracks in the roof as well. You just kind of got that look of
I wonder who did that. I didn't do that. I was avoiding those at a point at the tendrils that tried to attack me earlier. They're in the ground again. They're coming again, and I'm gonna back up. Guys, in that. Also, there's a fire.
Also, there's a fire. Oh, thanks. The heads up.
Why is there smoke coming out of that building?
Well.
I was right here. You guys watched me
Yeah.
the whole time.
I'm just gonna give you
No
a look
time.
though,
There was no time for me to do that.
I think we should check it out.
Hey, Mist.
Mm-hmm.
Which way to the tower?
Right to the tower. I'm just gonna point in the direction.
All right, which direction do you point? On here.
Ah, or this way.
Uh-oh.
Actually, wait. I don't know. I just climbed to the top of the building. No, I was preoccupied with.
The one that's on fire?
No, I climb on the lodge.
All right. You climb up and kind of look around, and you give that stable one more good look, and then look over, and you can see that the tower is kind of like this way from where y'all are at currently, and it as you're looking over that way, you can see now from your current position there are quite a few buildings in that direction where you can see the tops of these mushroom stalks that have broken through roofs of buildings, creating larger trees, and some trees that are in the streets that are just as tall as some of the buildings, almost giving the look of an actual forest in the midst of these ruins, but a mushroom forest.
So, the closer we get to that tower, the more likely it is we're going to be affected by mushrooms. And everything down, of course, but that's not by myself, of course. But I mean, hey.
As long as we're careful, we can get through.
That like these things don't come after you.
I'm standing right next to a few. Are the tendrils moving towards me?
The trees closest to you definitely have that little bit of a lean, and the few branches that are out do seem to kind of shift slowly in your direction, but doesn't seem to have the sort of, breaking through the ground reaction that Mist had earlier at the moment.
I want to try something. So I'm going to look at the mushroom, and I want to ask it, what do you want? But I'm going to ask it in Sylvan.
As you kind of speak and get closer, it just sort of leans a little bit in
I
your...
lean though.
It sort of just, leans in your direction, and doesn't really seem to have any sort of response beyond that, as well, aside from, the simple grasping and whatnot.
Okay, they're not like my mushrooms.
Probably the same thing everything wants.
To take over the world.
At least my mushrooms will spit at you if they don't like
prosper.
See, I wouldn't mess with a mushroom that spits at me. That mushroom has
Oh,
acid.
you shouldn't. It spits acid. It's not fun.
See, I'm gonna take out that amber that I got and just throw it in the middle of everything and see what happens. It's introducing invasive species.
So you grab your amber and toss it a little bit further down in the midst of a few of these clumping, fungal trees. And it hits the ground, rolls a little bit. They don't seem to react to it.
So they can sense life. That's fun.
I mean, if you keep making them mad and you have to walk through a forest,
I'm gonna go this way.
Don't think trees don't talk to each other. They do. Trees, but that's close.
Same thing. This is where we're going? This direction? Okay.
Alright.
At least for a little bit.
So y'all.
Wait. The store here.
Do I still hear it? Do I still hear the
No
horse
markings on this
clopping
door.
around?
There is a red mark on this door, and you can't hear any clopping from the inside, but you do hear the of what you gather to be a lot of hay catching fire.
I think your cousin's dead. Like officially now.
You know, one day, miss. One day I'm gonna kill you.
You got a long line.
Somewhere in there.
I've been a lot of places. And then I just repeat in Sylvan a lot of places.
I'm gonna open this door.
Alright. Opening it up on the inside, it looks to be like a small home that is here, and you can see a lot of the things that were in here have been destroyed, looted, tossed on its side. You know, you can see like dressers and cabinets that have been pulled out. And over on one side, you can see a mushroom tree that is growing and is like pressing up against the top of the roof. And it looks to be like there are about 2 people that are at its base. As you can see, the little bits of really emancipated like legs that are kind of sticking out amidst all the roots and things like that.
I see. Wrong address. Sorry.
We should really burn that down. I'm pretty sure that's how the spore tree that just attacked us came.
Stop burning everything.
Hear me out. That thing.
Do you want everything in this district to know where we are?
Oh, because then we can go the opposite direction of the fire.
Hate us.
Distractions are very good, and nothing distracts more than everything burning down.
Yeah, and the buildings lead to where we're going. Interesting.
Like a trail.
Not if we start throwing
Burning
torches.
them.
I don't think we could throw far enough.
But hear me out.
Also, if everything's on fire, then that which can't stand fire will have to move to where the fire isn't, which is where
Ooh,
we
yeah.
will be.
Eventually. You guys stink. I just walk.
Alright. So, as Mist heads forward, you know, grumbling about the needs of fire, and the rest of y'all just kind of exchange a look before following.
You have to call the invasive species.
That is where we're actually going to end today's session. With this nice little area taken care of, everybody alive, and a little bit more fire left in your wake. Thank you everybody for joining us in today's episode. Much love to all of y'all for hanging out with us. We see you in the chats. We're watching. Don't you worry. And before I close it out today, is there anything for any of y'all that you have that you want to end off with as well?
But seriously, don't set anything on fire.
Don't do it at home.
Yeah, no, fire bad.
HobsNMods does not condone the use of fire in buildings.
Arson is indeed a crime.
Survived, so that's good.
Hell yeah!
And I got to blow something up.
See, so good day, good session.
Yeah,
That's true.
absolutely.
Now, next session, I'm going to get taken over by a plant.
Oh my god.
Well, you shouldn't have pissed him off.
Probably. I'm just saying.
And
We're gonna have to sleep sometime.
Yes. Oh. Yeah.
Mm,
I'll take the exhaustion.
We could take turns.
yeah. We'll just take
We'll
shifts.
talk
You
about
say
it.
that now.
We'll discuss it.
Sleep is overrated.
I mean, yeah. I'm on about an hour and a half of sleep now, so
I feel that. Yeah.
definitely.
IRL, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, y'all, much love to everybody for coming and hanging out. We are now, 11 away from getting our next emote, which is going to be a nice nat 20 dice. So whenever peeps roll it, you can spam the chat. And then after that, we'll work on our nat 1.
Bam, bam, bam.
Spam for
Which
the
will be
win.
spamming a lot more,
Oh.
most likely.
Well, you know, we'll see how it goes. But I also want to say that I'm working on our previous episode and everything as well, but DaVinci Resolve, the program I use to edit and render our videos, has been fighting with me for like the last week. So I'll get all those up soon. I have them saved, have them mostly ready. So, you know, check with the Discord or our socials for updates with that. And I think that's really pretty much about it for me, you know. My own game with the other crew that may or may not end up fighting this crew in the future, according to Blighters. We will be with them this
It's not
Saturday.
even gonna be a fight.
Yeah, with you know the cohesion right now, yeah. They might kill
I'm
each
going
other
for the
before
rogue
then.
immediately.
And
It
that
doesn't matter if they have a rogue or not. I'm going for the rogue.
they do. So, but that game is going to be Saturday on Heathens and Heroes at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until next time, y'all take it easy. Y'all stay awesome, and we will see you soon. Have a good night, everybody.